The Union Federation COSATU is calling for a national debate on the state of municipalities. They say that the Auditor General's report on local government painted a grim picture of incompetence, maladministration, as well as a waste of public money. You may remember on Monday, Finance Minister at the unveiling of this report suggesting that it's really, in fact, he said, it didn't suggest it, he said, it's disappointing that none of the country's metros received clean audits. This included, of course, the city of Cape Town, which had received an unqualified audit last year. Auditor General Terence Nombembe told us that only 4 municipal entities received clean audits, dropping from 10 last year. You know, as I was preparing for this discussion, again, I remembered that last year you and I had a similar discussion, and I started off by asking you about Operation Clean Audit 2014, and I asked you last year whether or not we are still on track to achieve that. Let me ask you that again this year. Do you think that we are on track to achieve the objectives of Operation Clean Audit 2014?
Well, yes, we are on track, and the reason we're highlighting these issues is exactly on that note. And the other reason I'm saying we're on track is because we are not having a stagnation in this respect. I mean, we had 7 municipalities last year. We have 13 this year. I know it's a small number, but if you look at the next tier of municipalities, which is about 150 or so municipalities, that could achieve this result, we definitely should be able to achieve it if they respond to the disciplines that we are advocating in this report.
But the unfortunate thing here, Mr. AG, is that they are not responding. And, you know, please excuse me for being skeptical about this. But let me give you the statistics. 2008, 2009, we had 4 clean audit reports. That was out of 237 municipalities and 49 entities. That was 2008, 2009, which was the start of this campaign. 2009, 2010, we moved from 4 to 7. 2010 to 2011, we've ticked up 6 places to 13. I'm just not sure whether we'll be able to reach the target by 2014, which is in 2 years' time.
Yeah. No, you're right, Xolani, but the point I'm making is the slow pace at which we are moving now is not a determinant of the spike that we could achieve if every municipality could respond to the disciplines that are being requested to be observed. And once again, my experience in going to these municipalities door to door is that there is an ability and potential for municipalities to do this. We just need to have greater monitoring, greater persuasion, greater emphasis on the need to have these municipalities to do the right thing.
But you see, unfortunately, again, that's the same statement you made to me last year. It wasn't just the only one. Let me read you this statement again, which you made to me last year, and again, it appears in your report this year. You said to me last year, municipal audit results, and you said among other financial management issues that need to be addressed by municipalities are non-compliance with supply chain management prescripts, the extent and prevalence of ICT challenges, the ongoing need for and dependence on consultants to deliver financial statement related work that full-time employees should be doing, and the increased level of unauthorized and irregular expenditure. That's your statement last year. Let me read you your statement this year. You identify 5 major risks, and you say a growing trend of irregular expenditure in supply chain management, service delivery reporting, minimal improvement in internal IT controls, minimal improvement in human resource management, and significant errors in financial statements, even though most municipalities hire consultants to do the work of government officials. Mr. AG, it's exactly the same. You can't even spot the difference.
Xolani, it is exactly the same, and you need to, in addition to that, read to the reasons for that to look exactly the same. The issues that need to be addressed are exactly the same, which is why we should be confident that if we address the right things, we should be in a position to eliminate those issues. At least here we don't have a moving target in terms of what needs to be done. And if you look at those issues that you have identified, they are issues that can be dealt with with relative ease.
Right. Let me welcome Lucas Nemudanjera, a lecturer at the School of Economics and Management in the Department of Public Admin and Local Government at the University of Limpopo. Your comments on what you've heard so far?
Well, let me start off, Golani, by indicating that South Africa has been ranked number one by the World Economic Forum's Global Competitiveness in the whole world, for the strength of our auditing and reporting standards. Now, if we have something like that, one asks the question as to how come that we cannot cascade this to our municipalities. The Office of the Auditor General even export auditors to some other countries to assist in the auditing process. So, in other words, when you listen to the Auditor General, he is indicating that it's not a matter of lack of resources. Maybe it is the lack of willingness on the side of the other stakeholders in this whole process. Because if you check, you have a situation where some municipalities regress. In other words, instead of improving, they go backwards. You have municipalities that remain the same over a period of time. Now you ask yourself what is being done, and the Minister of Finance has indicated that one area of difficulty is that there are no consequences for people who are found to be violating these prescripts.
Let's discuss that a little bit, because one may argue that the PFMA is very clear about the consequences. What does it mean there are no consequences?
Yes, it's like if you check, when we talk about unauthorized expenditure, it means people are being referred to be offside because the rules are there, and they go on to incur expenditure without any authorization. So that means the rules are there, they are just violating them. Look at irregular expenditure. The main reason there is indicated as non-compliance with supply chain management. So it is non-compliance. You are supposed to comply and you are not complying. And an unfortunate situation is fruitless and wasteful expenditure, because that one is gone forever, and it is something that should not have happened. Look at the under expenditure. The money is there, but it's not being used.
But Mr. Auditor General, again, let's analyze this. What it means is that, and this is the issue that was raised by the Finance Minister about no crooked officials going unpunished. Does it mean that people are just doing as they please without consequences?
Fortunately, this one is not a lost cause, because the reporting of the irregular expenditure is the first step. The next step will now require the investigation of these irregular expenditure. And in the event they are found to have been related to negligence or breaching the law or enriching oneself, at least there is an opportunity for some course of action to be taken. All it needs is for councillors and the legislatures, provincial and even nationally for that matter, to pursue this matter and eliminate this figure, because it's sitting at, if I isolate it from the unauthorized expenditure, it's sitting at close to about 7 billion for all the municipalities across the country.
All right, let's go to Dorothy in Cape Town. Hello, Dorothy.
Hi. The gentleman that you're speaking to is the Auditor General. He said, I just missed the first few minutes of your program.
Yes, that's the Auditor General, Mr. Terence Nombembe.
Yes, well, you and him are asking the right questions and giving the right answers, but your second speaker who came in is muddying the water, saying that we've got the best auditors in the world, and he knows very well that it's got, and he says that we're not short of resources, we're short of the human resources, maybe not in South Africa, many of them have emigrated, but we're short of them because there is cadre deployment. And I'm very dissatisfied with an answer I got yesterday from the second professor that Siki interviewed, because I said I had only I was the last speaker, so I couldn't maybe express it properly, that I said I used the word private sector. I said in the private sector all over the world for jobs, those sort of jobs, medium and senior management, people have to go through a battery of psychometric tests, not only whether they've got the academic qualifications for certain jobs or experience, but also about their characters and personalities, and to see whether they will be able to bring the job to finalization and whether they're interested. Okay. And an example, for instance, Cape Town. Last time the ANC ruled the Cape Town, but the time before the DA had Cape Town, were in charge of Cape Town, and they actually had a senior manager from Edcon running as a senior manager, and they did terribly well, and it had nothing to do with politics and cadre deployment, and that is the elephant in the room, because people are so sick of saying it, but I'm going to say it now.
Okay,
and
Dorothy.
I feel that the government is the employee, the employer. Employees of that caliber should go through psychometric tests, and you'll find that more people will stay in South Africa. And another thing is, they will say, I know that in South Africa they say you've got to bring people in and you've got to upscale them. Well, they've got to start at the lower grade. They can't be the senior manager and then go and spend millions and millions and billions on consultants to do the job. They just placed there as they're given those jobs as a thank you for something like the man who's just resigned the MEC in Johannesburg.
All right. John is in Grahamstown. Hello, John.
Hello there, Kolani.
Hi.
Kolani, it's obvious that the system of local government has broken down. It's been obvious for a long time. We have to change the system, and the current system is the party-based system, where parties actually elect the councillors, the community go and vote, but they vote on a party-based system. And then those councillors are not accountable to the communities, they're accountable to the party that they represent. And we have to get back to the system where you elect councillors in their own right who are trusted members of the community and who are directly accountable to the community. We started something like that in Makana here in Grahamstown called Makana Independent New Deal. We managed to win a seat on council. We've got a system where we can fight the parties on the same footing as the parties, and I'd like to present that as a model to other local to other local governments, that they can also learn from the model that we've created here, and that's the way we have to go. The parties are not going to give up that territory very easily. They have a vested interest in it, and but the communities actually have to take local government back from the party.